Bwana CS, there is a viral video on social media, a young man saying airport imeuziwa kwa muhindi. And that Adani Group, the last 24 hours, the allegations we are having that the Swiss authorities have frozen the Adani Group bank accounts of 310 million Kenya shillings. Waziri, why don't you cancel this deal as of today before you walk out? And I know the president will understand. Number two, what is the consequence in case this deal is brought or halted today as you walk out from here before close of business 5 p.m. Kenyan time? Secondly, your former colleague in November last year, Kipchumba Murkomen, there were two Chinese companies, and who is Civil Engineering Group and China Aerotechnology Corporation called CATIC, were given an award of 55 billion to build 178,000 square meters terminal, which was designed by Pascal and Watson of London. The information I have is that the government, after the deal was forged, the government paid 4.7 billion Kenya shillings. What is the position on that matter, Waziri? Number three, under the PMF Act and the Constitution, why would you prefer privately initiated investment as opposed to open tendering process? Is this a case of money laundering by individuals that want to launder money using this investment at JKIA? Number four, this PIP by Adani Group of companies, is it only on JKIA, airports, or airstrips, including Karenga airstrip in Kericho, or is it only JKIA restricted on build, operate, and transfer model, Waziri? And the reading of that act is that this deal is anchored on quicksand or fraud, pure manipulation, conmanship, self-aggrandizement, greed, and corruption and larceny and lethargy of the people who want to perpetuate illegality. Chair, you know, when witnesses appear, they assume senators are busy from reading. Although we did Kipchoge 159 in reading documentation, it is out of curiosity that in the board minutes of KIA, this will be my conclusion, it is out of curiosity that in the board meeting, there are glaring concerns by the board. Either it was ignored, either it was not dismissed, or some big boy somewhere were playing golf and decided that KIA board meeting minutes does not matter. In the observation in this minute 6/07/15 of 2024, consideration of the projects, I will read one paragraph in the interest of time, that KIA asked to surrender its interest so that the proponent can generate its target revenue. I think that's Adani Group. It was observed, and this meeting was sat. The members of this meeting include our brother, the acting MD, Mr. Henry Ogoye. It was observed that the project has attracted interest from different quarters in government, making it difficult to advance a common position as the government. This is an agency of government arguing that there is no common position on this issue of Adani decision in these minutes. And we would want to know later, Chair, as a supplementary, why Ogoye, how long has he been acting as the MD of Kenya Airports Authority? Because the government in itself is telling, you know, it's one body as a body of Christ in Corinthians. It's like the hand is not trusting the mind or the legs. The government says in one of the entities that there is no common position of the government, and there are other interests. So it means this Adani deal was being done even outside the care and the structure engagement through which, who are these interests, such as money laundering. And because it came out, Chair, because somebody questioned, so in their own minutes, Chair, there was no common position on this deal of Adani, even within government itself. So Waziri, looking at these minutes, and we thank God that you did provide these documents, and that is why we insisted that you provide them in time. Looking at these minutes, either K was ignored, either Ministry of Treasury was ignored, and I hope, Chair, as you rule, the Minister of Treasury should also appear, Minister of Treasury, the PS and the DG. Of course, DG, Mr. Chair, should be frog-marched by the IG because he has defied this committee, Chair. So the question is, there is no common position on this matter. So Waziri, is it in order as you walk out of this place to cancel and call off this fraud by Adani Group? There is a viral young man who is viral in Facebook saying, airport imeuzwa kwa muhindi. Can you just, the takeoff has encountered turbulence, just about the takeoff, Bwana CS, by ensuring that end these negotiations. This thing is becoming ugly, it's becoming chaotic. Just tell the country that there is no deal, there is no negotiations, and we are not objecting the building of new airport or improvement of other airports and airstrips across the country. Finally, Chair, the information I have, in fact, the United States of America government is in confidence that if Adani does the takeover of JKIA, we might lose even our flights direct to New York, Chair, that is normally scheduled per week, and this will hinder our standing among the international communities. So, Bwana CS, you are not there. This is not your baby. This looks like, and it is corruption that it needs to be stopped. Allow Adani to do other airports in other parts. He's not the only one in the world that he can do that, Chair. Let us get a new investor, and we are not objecting the bill to the airport being constructed. Let it come clear from this meeting. We want a new airport, but we want the due process of the law to be followed, Chair. It is as simple, and value for money, lawfulness and effectiveness, Bwana CS. And even as Kenyans today, I quoted Abraham Lincoln. He says the government is for the people and by the people. Give Kenyans what they want. Just use this platform, courtesy of the Chair, call off the deal. Let's go back, Chair, because if they say in conclusion, Chair, if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck and quacks like a duck, it could be a real ugly swan of corruption. Let the Adani be called off. This deal called off today. Let's begin from a fresh slate, because Kenyans, even from Nandi County where I come from, they don't want this deal. Not because we have an airport next to us, but because it is the national strategic security infrastructure and we cannot risk. Chair, I thank you, and I hope when the CS of National Treasury will appear and the DG, in fact, Chair, under Powers and Privileges Act, as you rule on the DG of PPP, he should be summoned and fined and frog-marched by Inspector General of Police to appear before this committee, because this is the contempt of your committee. This committee has quasi-judicial mechanisms of the High Court. With those, thank you, Chair, for having us who are friends of the committee and giving us. Chair, some of us, if we don't speak to some of these issues, we cannot sleep because Kenyans keep calling us throughout the night. But see, le kuzalamiwa agency, but in good faith, they really want to know. Chair, Waziri, and as you go back, please in future, if you have such enormity infrastructure project, kindly give us information early enough so that we don't deal with disinformation, misinformation and fake news in some of these issues. We wish you well, and we hope you will do better than the former incompetent colleague, because alikuwa anapenda mchezo tukapeleka yeye kwa mchezo. Asante sana. Thank you, Chair.